This is the screencast for section 5.6, the law of cosines. In section 5.5, we did law of sines. We were given, to start with, the information we were given was partly an angle and the length of its opposite side. Well, what if we aren't given an angle and its opposite side? What if we're given another combination of information? So law of cosines comes into play when the given information it constitutes a side angle side situation or side 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 in a triangle. Now the law of cosines is a formula that, depending on what information you need, everything else fits in a pattern. So for example, if you are looking for angle A, the cosine of angle A goes last, and then you have the side of angle A is squared. Then you have equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc, and then, like I said, cosine of A. If you're looking for cosine of B, then b squared goes first, and that's on the left side of the equal sign. Then it's a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine b, etc. So depending on what information you're given, one of these three setups is going to suit our needs. Be careful and check your work. Order of operations can be tricky, and it's not that it's tricky, it's just it can be misleading. So, let's practice. Example 1, solving a triangle, side angle side. In this problem, side A is 11 units, side B is 5 units, and angle C is 20 units. Speaking of misleading, that goes here. So we are given side angle side situation. Well, for law of cosines, I'm going to choose in this case, since I know angle C and I don't know either angle A or angle B, I'm going to use the setup that uses angle C. So I'm going to use c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. In this case, I don't know side C, but I do know side A, 11. I do know side B, 5. 2 times 11 times 5 times the cosine of angle C is 20 degrees. Now, as I complete, remember I said watch order of operations. 121 plus 25 minus, I'm going to do 22 times 5. Apparently I don't have this written out anywhere. Here we go. Now remember I said be careful of order of operations. So what I'm going to do here is, actually in this case, if you just type this whole string into your calculator, it won't be a problem. Your calculator will understand to square 11 first, to add 5, to then subtract whatever 2 times 11 times 5 times the cosine of 20 is, and then you could take the square root of it and you get C is approximately 6.53. Check that in your calculator just to make sure that you're able to do that correctly. I also stored that in my calculator as C. So in my calculator, when I say C, it is going to mean the value 6.53 with all of its decimals following. Now since I have, let's see, all of the sides, I can use one setup to find an angle. I'm going to choose to find angle B first. I could have chosen to find angle A, but I'm going to use B. So that means I'm going to start out with b squared equals, and this time it will be a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine angle B. So side B I know is 5. Side A I know is 11. Side C I'm just going to call C right now because it is programmed in my calculator that way. And I'm looking for angle B. Now here's where order of operations gets tricky. It looks like, it's misleading, it looks like you can just put all this stuff together. You cannot. Order of operations says parentheses, then exponents, 11 squared is 121 plus c squared. So I can do that in my calculator, and I get 11 squared plus c squared is 163.63, and I'm just keeping that as a lingering value. Now I'm going to subtract that from both sides. So I get negative 138.63 equals whatever negative 2 times 11 times what I've stored as c is, times the cosine of b. So now I have to take negative 138.63 and divide by whatever negative 2 times 11 times c is. And I get that the cosine of b is about 0.965, which by taking the inverse cosine I will get actually angle B, which is about 15.18 degrees. And then by doing a little subtraction just off to the side here, 180 minus 20 degrees for angle C minus the answer I just got in my calculator, I get that angle A, which is going to be the largest angle, I know because it's already the largest side, is 144.82 degrees. The now try problem number 1 gives a side angle side scenario. So I do not know an angle and its opposite side. I have to use law of cosines. Since I'm given angle B, I'm going to use the setup of law of cosines that uses angle B. So I'm going to start out with b squared, which I don't know, equals a squared 13 plus c squared minus 2 times 13 times 8 cosine of angle B, which is 131 degrees. This because I don't have to worry about order of operations when I put all of this in my calculator. B, this is, excuse me, because that's not misleading. B is approximately 19.22, and I've stored that in my calculator as B. So I'll put 19.22 over here. Since I've stored that as B, I'm going to use that value to help find one of the other two angles and then subtract everything from 180 to get the final angle. I'm going to try angle A. No particular reason, just because. So if I'm going to work with angle A, side A is going to go out in front. So 13 squared equals, then that would be b squared, which is stored in my calculator, plus c squared minus 2 times b times c, which is 8, times the cosine of angle A. Now 13 squared minus b squared minus 8 squared. Actually, let's just do 169. B squared plus 8 squared is about 433.46. I'm not going to calculate what 2 times b times 8 is yet. You could, but it's just a lot for your calculator to remember exactly. Now if I subtract those from, if I subtract 433.46 from both sides, I get negative 264.46 equals whatever negative 2 times b times 8 is. Divide both sides by negative 2 times b times 8, and I get about 0.86 equals cosine of A. I guess that's approximately equal, because I am estimating when I write this down. So now angle A is going to be the inverse cosine of 0.86, or that exact value that is now in my calculator. So A is approximately, angle A, 30.69 degrees. 30.69 degrees, which means angle C is going to be 180 degrees minus 131 degrees minus what I just got for angle A, 30.69 degrees. Angle C is going to be about 18.31 degrees. Now, make sure you are doing this step by step to make sure your order of operations are correct. Everything you're putting in your calculator is being understood by your calculator correctly. You should be able to produce the same answers that I have.